Welcome to the Hamsi Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Friday, August 10, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at 105. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at negative 321. There were 7 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and none new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. For the volatility, there were 202,000 contracts traded on the VIX today, with 26 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar-weighted put-call ratio in August, we saw a 2.2 reading, which is bullish, with 17% of the total premiums paid. In September, a 0.92, which is a neutral reading, with 40% of the total premiums paid. October, a 0.8, with 21% of the total premiums paid, a neutral reading. And January, a 1.75, neutral reading, with 17% of the total premiums paid. Here we have the daily chart for SPX. We have a good update today, 3 handles for the SPX here, but the important thing here was that we have an outside day for SPX. We came off the lows and finished at the highs also on an outside day, which is pretty bullish for the market today, Friday, closing the week here. We continue to be on the positive 1, positive 2 sigma channel. Next target here would be 1416, and of course we're watching for the 1430. On the downside, we're looking for 0 sig at 1375 here, and we would want that to hold in case of any pullback happens here. We could see here CI continues to be red but positive, slope is positive, which is good for the market, and CI continues to be positive and up here, which is good. Sigma channel width going higher again, sigma channel increasing as the market goes higher. Pretty good here for the market overall on the daily chart. Next thing we're gonna watch here, we're gonna look at the weekly chart today that we finished this week. 5th consecutive SPX week, we got higher. Very good action here. We broke the 1 sigma on the weekly chart and closed above it. Now we're looking for 2 sigma on the weekly chart or 1430. Very important here, the weekly. You could see here this trend line we have drawn here. We could maybe get a pullback there. Maybe that's gonna be even healthy, and then come back and look for that 1430 level. Again, very positive action here on the weekly chart for SPX. CI positive and looking higher. Same for CID, if you could see it here, in positive territory going higher each time. Now to look at shorter term targets, we're gonna start looking at the 60-minute chart, and these pivots are gonna change for next week. But again, we're looking for the 1416 level, which is the 2 sigma on the daily chart, and then we're looking for the 1430 around these levels here. Pretty good pattern here overall for the SPX. Now gonna look at SPY, and let's start here with the weekly chart for SPY. Very good action here, as I mentioned, also on SPX, XPY, pretty much the same. But the numbers we're looking for here is 143 on the weekly. That's gonna be the positive 2 sigma, and the downside support would be 136. Pretty good action here. CI looking good. CI dip also looking very good here on the weekly chart. We need to take into consideration here we're approaching the highs for the year, and that's gonna be of course some resistance. So next target would be highs of the year, and that's what we're looking here. The daily chart, more shorter term range, we're looking for the 142 level again, positive 2 sigma. CI again going higher today. Very good action here on CI and CI dip. CI on SPY, you could notice here, is still not red. We have some more further to go, and then we're gonna watch the slope when we get this red line. If we do any pullback, we're looking for 137.65. That's gonna be critical to hold this 0 sig level. Now let's going to look at GLD. Here we have GLD. We have a good week. We closed today almost flat for the day, but still positive. We are on the positive 1, positive 2 sigma channel. We were able to close in that channel, which is good. and it's looked like we're looking for the 158.44 level and come and test these highs, previous highs we've made here. Breakout around here. We'll be looking for the 160 and then test the 200-day moving average 160.7. Those are the targets for the upside. On the downside, if we do break and close below 0.6, we would be watching for 152 level. Maybe if we do come that low, come and test this 149, 150 level that we've tested a couple of times now. But we could watch CI pointing higher for GLD, same as CI did. Pretty good action here on CI and CI did for GLD. Going to the weekly chart for GLD, we broke 0.6, close above it, barely. Again, we want to see a next week confirmation. This happened 2 weeks ago, and we did not confirm the next week, so we want to see what happens next week. If we confirm, we want to come and test positive 1 sigma, which is right now at 159.50. That's gonna be the level to go there, up there, and maybe 160 go for that 200-day moving average. Still, you could see here how volatility on the sigma channels is very compressed here on GLD. Maybe we're waiting for a move here soon, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But we got the targets 159, 160 on the upside, 152, 150 on the downside. Those are the targets for gold. And one thing to point out here on the weekly chart, you could see this bottoming formation here on CI now starting to go almost positive here, while CI is now positive. So maybe we're finding here a bottom on GLD. We're gonna have to wait for next week some confirmation on that one. Here we have the weekly chart for IWN Rustles ETF. We could see here we have a good up week. We are testing some resistance here on the weekly chart at 71 more or less. So we want to break this to the upside and come further, maybe looking for the highs of the year next week if risks comes off. This is a pretty important indicator of how risk in the market is behaving. So we want to see IWN break out of this downward trend line that we are so far, and has been a lagging index so far, while the market with the Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and S&P rallies almost to the highs. The Russell 2000 have not. So it's important here. We wanted to catch up and break out. You can see it here on the daily chart. Pretty important to break above this trend line and go for the 72, 73 levels are gonna be pretty important here. A breakout for this IWN. On the sigma channels for IWN, here we have the weekly chart. We were finally able to cross 0.6 and close above it. Now we need to break this 72 and maybe go for this 73.50. That's gonna be our next target here on the weekly chart, 73.50. Again, you could see here CI is starting to go now higher, which is good, and CI div is positive. For the daily chart, we came here, tested a couple of times the 200-day moving average. We tested here a couple of times, and then we test here, no break, final, and we came, bounce back. Now we want to test this 73 level on the daily chart, positive 3 sigma, maybe a good next week, and then go for the weekly 73.5. That would be very good, breaking that downward trend line that we just talked about. Here we have NDX weekly chart, up, broke for 1 sigma. Now we're on the positive 1, positive 2 sigma channel. Pretty good action also here on the NDX. You could see here how CI turned, now pointing higher. Same for CI div, this shift to the upside, pointing higher, maybe looking for this highs of the year we have here. Maybe going for the 2794, 2800 maybe. Next target is gonna be the highs of the year. Same for SPX. We're looking for 2794 here. It's gonna be our next target on NDX. If we look at the NDX daily chart, we could see easily a breakout here. We had this channel here on this. You could see it. We had this channel here, and we got a breakout 5 days ago, and then the market has not stopped to look around or any pullback, just gone higher. That's pretty good based on the width of the height of this channel. It's about 100 points. We should be looking for the highs of the year, a breakout from 100 above here, and it was 26.78. We're looking at 27.78, which is around here or almost the highs of the year. So this 27.78 is going to be our next target on NDX. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your HAMC Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you Monday.